and welcome back to Happiness by Habit, the podcast where we dive deep into the habits and insights that empower us to live more joyful, balanced, and fulfilled lives. I am your host, Silvana Pimentel, and today I am honored to have with me a truly transformative guest, Kris Hapgood. She's not only a seasoned nurse and CEO, but also a best-selling author and international speaker who is changing the very foundations on our healthcare system. In her journey, she faced the harsh realities of a model that often reacts to symptoms rather than preventing illnesses. Her personal battle and post-traumatic stress disorder led her to discover the incredible potential of natural healing and a path that inspires by nature's own remedies. Today, Kris joins us with her powerful story. Welcome to the show, dear Kris.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Wonderful. So happy to have you. Let's talk about your journey in healthcare. It's
Okay.
nothing short of remarkable. Can you share with us what initially drew you to nursing and how your experiences eventually led to a challenge the traditional healthcare model?
Well, after I had my two babies, I just got this calling from God to say, you know what? You need to go and empower women. You need to help them through a very difficult time by giving birth. You know, sometimes it's not the best scenario and they're scared, they're frightened, there's a lot of uncertainties. And so I did. I got my nursing degree, was a labor and delivery nurse, and did wonderful things there. And eventually I became an internationally board certified lactation consultant, where I was the lactation consultant in a 90-bed NICU. So this is where I'm taking the smallest and the sickest of the babies and the most scared moms that have many, many, many obstacles against both the mom and the baby, and to make them successful with providing breast milk and nursing their babies and the best health for everybody. So that's where I started. And at the same time, you know, we have to take care of ourselves, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's what I was doing is I was also at that same time doing long distance competitive trail riding. So that meant I rode my horse 60 miles a weekend competitively. Yes.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
would be maybe in the saddle 6-8 hours a day,
Hmm.
riding, doing all kinds of stuff. Now, at the same time, I was diagnosed with grade 4 arthritis in both of my knees. So in order to ride like I needed to do, I would have to, what I would say, pill up. Pill up meant I would take 6 to 8 painkillers every day just to ride. I would start pilling up a couple of days before. I would then drive myself and my horse to the ride, set up camp, then go and compete, then knock the camp down, drive all the way back, the next day be going to work. And I would still be pilling up several days afterwards. Well, and you know, I would go to the docs and I was like, okay, is there something we can do? And they go, Kris, your arthritis is so bad, your knees look like they belong in a 90-year-old man, but you're only 50 years old. You're way too young for knee replacement surgery. So we're just going to keep injecting your knees with the steroids. We'll inject your lower back with the steroids and you just keep taking the pain pills. You'll be fine. So that was, and I was a nurse. I'm a nurse. So this is the medical model. We just follow our doctor's plan. Well, that's when my daughter stepped in. She started using natural alternatives on herself and on her young family. And she brought me this blue cream. And she said, Mom, I just want you to try this blue cream. And I'm like, it's not going to work. Look, your mom has a bachelor's of science major nursing. This is what I'm going to do. That's not going to work. Long story short, within a couple of weeks, that cream was working.
Wow. What was that cream all about? Please tell us.
It had essential oils, doTERRA
Uh-huh.
essential oils, and
Mm-hmm.
like a little cream, a little emollient. And I just
Okay.
put a little tiny bit on, but many times a day. And that's what she said, Mom, it's just a little tiny bit, but it's frequent. So I started using that and I was getting results. And then she was like, okay, Mom, and now we're going to start healing you from the inside out. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? And this is when she started telling me about my gut and everything. Now, I'm a nurse. And this was my daughter telling me this. And so I started looking at this and I did a deep dive and I go, why is this working? And then I realized that every time that I took that pain pill, my body was saying, oh my goodness, here's something foreign inside me. I don't know what it is. And your body goes into fight and flight, okay? When your body goes into fight and flight, there goes your cortisol level, which then raises your inflammation. So every time I was doing this, I was just, and then I take another pill because it would still be hurting. The inflammation's causing the pain. It was just a vicious cycle. It was a vicious cycle. So when I was like, what? Then when these natural alternatives, essential oils, this is something from Mother Nature. This is something that my body recognized. They go, we can use this, and started healing. My body started healing itself. So I've been doing all the oils. I've been doing the natural alternatives. Okay. So then 11 years after my diagnosis with an MRI that I had grade 4 arthritis in both of my knees, I torqued my knee going down to the barn carrying hot water in 5-gallon buckets because we were getting ready to have a blizzard. And I torqued my knee and I was like, oh my goodness. And my husband took me to the hospital. They did x-rays, they did an MRI, and when, like 3 days later, when we met with the orthopedic surgeon, he goes, yep, you totally destroyed your meniscus in your right knee and your meniscus root. And I go, okay. Back in 2010, I was diagnosed with grade 4 arthritis in both of my knees. And he looked at me and he said, if you weren't sitting here, I would call you a liar. And I go, what? And he goes, there's no arthritis in that knee. I go, this is the same hospital system. Go back in my medical records and go find that MRI report. And he did. And he said, yeah, you had significant arthritis. 2 days later, when he did orthoscopic surgery, he took pictures. There's no arthritis in my right knee.
Oh my gosh.
What happened? It just shows that my body can heal itself. When all of us think our healing has to take place in a pill, it's not. My body did it all on its own using natural ingredients. So I can honestly say I have, well, in the last, 12 years, I've gotten myself off of all of my prescriptions. I'm only on one prescription and I'm going to be getting myself off of that this year. I'm going to be 65 years old this year.
Wow.
And I have not taken not one over-the-counter medication in probably the last 7 years.
That's amazing.
I do
Kris.
everything natural. And I now have learned that my body can heal itself. I just need to give it the opportunity. And what's so sad is this was all caused by inflammation. And 99% of all diseases is caused by chronic inflammation. So when I work with people and I go, what you're currently doing, if it's not working, maybe we need to think of something else. Maybe we need to start thinking outside of the box. Maybe we need to start thinking outside of, the status quo. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
I love it. That makes a big difference. Can you tell us some practical habits or approaches that individuals can adopt to tap into this natural healing potential?
Yes, that is a very good question. And it is all with our lifestyle. Our lifestyle has to do everything. So it's like everything we put in our mouth is either feeding disease or killing disease. We have got to just be proactive with our health, not reactive. So this isn't like, oh, today I'm starting to get sick, I'm going to be proactive today. No, this is an everyday decision. So like this morning when I got up, my body needs to be nourished. So what do? Is I take my vitamins, minerals, and greens. I take a probiotic with a prebiotic that's got bacteriophages in it. I take a great EO Omega. Now, my body, like I said, there's vitamins and minerals going all throughout my body. It's nourishing my body. Already this morning, I went out and it's only 5 degrees here. And I've already mulched my barn, carried around big wheelbarrows of manure, already fed 3 horses, and I feel amazing. And it's just empowering people to think outside of the box and don't think, because what do? we start getting sick. We go, I got to do this, this, and this. And we get reactive. Not being reactive is not the key, ladies and gentlemen. It's being proactive. And it starts every day. Every day, it is a decision to be proactive. Give my body the things that it needs, and our body will take care of it, of itself.
Oh, wow. That's very useful advice, Kris. And let me tell you, you don't look 65 at all. I mean, you look 50 some. So whatever
you.
you're doing is working. So let's pay attention to your notes and your advice. That's awesome. So I guess food intake takes a really crucial influence in our outcome, like in our health.
Right.
Because when you say whatever we put in our mouth, and most of what we put in our mouth is mainly food, right? Some pills, medicine, but let's talk about food intake. What are recommendations of things that are good for our body?
Well, it's number one is we think that whatever's in our grocery store is going to be healthy. We also think that if it's something that's not healthy, then we've got all of these government agencies. We have all these things that would prevent that. Wrong. We have got to be educated consumers. We can go to Canada. We can go to Europe. We can go anywhere else in the world, and we're not going to be able to buy the food that we can buy here, because it's amazing the amount of toxins. And when I work with so many families with young children, they go, why is my child why can't my child focus? Why is my child all hyperactivity? Why is my child sick all the time? I'm like, let's look at the diet. We've got all these dyes in there. We've got all of these preservatives. You know, people just don't realize. And then we go, okay, well, I'm going to go to a restaurant that's all healthy. Really? Are they truly healthy? So we really need to be looking at food that is grown on trees, grown in the ground, whatever. We need to be not processed foods, not foods that come in a box. And when you look at the box and you go, I can't even pronounce some of the things that's in this food, then you shouldn't be eating it. And it's a mindset. It's a mindset. So get educated about your food that you're feeding yourself and that you're feeding your family. Yeah.
That is so important, because when we are mindful of what we eat, definitely we can make a big difference in our health and in our wellness in general, right? A lot of people might be trying to lose some weight or trying to get better health-wise. So this is really a good advice for them. Let's talk about your last few months, your last year. We were talking offline about what major changes came into your life. Let's talk about your book, Gifts of Pain, how that has changed you. And please share with us that beautiful story of transformation for Kris in the last few months.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I've been very blessed to be part of the Gift of Pain book, and it is the #1 bestseller on Amazon. And my title is From Suffering to Vitality. And what it was, it's my story about how I always had to pill up just to survive, until my story of my transformation is like, what? My body can literally heal itself? For real? And then I started doing the deep dive. Well, then when we know better, we do better, right? So then I was like, I thought, I've got to I work at a teaching hospital. Oh my goodness, did you guys know that our bodies can heal itself, that we could be doing this, this, and this? Can we not try this? And I was presenting the hierarchy of the hospital, evidence-based research showing that other hospitals were using natural alternatives and having amazing results. And I was like, we're teaching hospitals. Should we not be teaching these residents, hey, maybe there's other options out there? And they go, no. Nobody was open to it. I was so devastated. I was literally devastated. You know, and finally one of them said, well, Kris, if your oils are so good, then what are you doing here? And that's when I was like, you know what? You're right. So I worked harder. I replaced my income. And now what I do is I have my very own business, and I help people one-on-one, because I could not be part of a system that was actually harming people. So when I work with people daily and they go and they feel so guilty, oh, I didn't know. Now my health is this bad. And they feel guilty. I should know better. And I'm like, nope, you are not taking the guilt. It is the medical model. It is us people, healthcare professionals, that should be feeling guilty because to me, you did not make a true informed decision. Did you have all of the options in the medical model? Here's your natural alternatives. Here's some other things. Did you truly have all of those things to look at? No. Well, then you didn't truly make an informed decision. And that's what it's all about. So to me, it's like people need to advocate for themselves. They need to start looking outside of the status quo. And, this is what blows my mind. The doctor gives you a prescription and you go, oh, okay. And then you go fill it and you start taking it. You did not get any education or very minimal of what that prescription is doing. What exactly is the steroid doing to your body? Did you know that steroids is probably the leading cause of cataracts? What? Did you know that this antibiotic, just even one dose, is going to start wiping out your gut microbiome? What? And your gut microbiome is where 80% of your immunity's from? So why are you always sick? Why is your child always sick? Because they don't have the immunity, because we keep putting them on the antibiotics. And then, is the antibiotic really necessary? It might be viral. The antibiotic's not going to do anything about it. But what we did is we just wiped out the gut microbiome. So see, Silvana, are people truly making informed decisions? No. Advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And I can attest to that because I recently, last year, I took one of these gut health tests that identifies a lot of foods that will cause me allergies or that my body wouldn't accept. And since reading the results, I made an informed decision of removing those foods from my diet, and it's really a big difference. I can definitely see an improvement on my health.
So you can see, you would eat that food that you're allergic to. Your body's like, what is this? This is a foreign object. And so, yeah, it fights against it. It causes inflammation. That's why I have all this GI distress. This is why I have all this inflammation. This is why I have all this swelling, the skin rashes, the whole 9 yards. And that with the toxins and the preservatives that we have in our food is not good.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question, Kris. This podcast name is Happiness by Habit. So we would love to hear 5 happy habits that you can recommend to our listeners.
Number one, it's going to be your mindset. Number one, it's your mindset. So we've got to think about what is going to be making me happy, and it's like, and a lot of people, you think about this, when they're sick, they only have one wish. When they're well, they have hundreds of wishes, hundreds of goals. But if we're sick, all I want to do is feel better. So your mindset. I'm going to change the way I'm going to be looking at everything. Number one, I'm going to be eating much better. I've got to think about fueling my body. So I've got to be looking at my lifestyle. Again, it's going to be your eating. I got to get out and exercise. We don't get out and move. They're saying the new smoking is our sedentary lifestyle. We're sitting at desks, we're sitting behind computers, or we're laying in bed watching Netflix, or we have our children on their games and on their devices all the time. That is not it. So, mindset, I'm going to change. Only you can change. Only you can do it. Okay. Number 2, like I said, is your lifestyle. You've got to have a healthy lifestyle. Number 3, part of that healthy lifestyle is your nutrition. You've got to fuel your body. Number 4, again, is look at some true inner things that really, what is important to me? What is important to me? What do I want to do? Because we are not guaranteed tomorrow. We are only guaranteed today. So my biggest thing is enjoy the moment where your feet are planted. We can worry about tomorrow, but it's not going to do anything. We can't worry about yesterday because that's already passed. We have no control over that. We have no control over our future, but we do have control of today. And today is where my feet is planted. So sometimes, it's like, when I talk to young families and they go, oh, I'm really, really busy with my job. But right here, I'm here at Susie's dance recital, or I'm here at Johnny's soccer game. But you know what? But now I'm thinking about all the stuff at work. I'm thinking all the things that I need to do at home. No, you are here at the recital. Enjoy every moment. Focus. So happiness is just being where you're at. And it's a deep spirituality. It's a deep spirituality. I know that. And you mentioned, in the last few months, in the last year, you've had some life-changing things. This has been my life-changing thing, is spiritually, my conversion even more. And it's like, my goodness, today is a gift. I need to enjoy everything that I'm doing today, and I need to bless others that I come in contact with, because I have a gift. It's today.
I love it.
And so it's, again, overall, I don't know if I really answered the question, but overall, it's your mindset. But it's everything that you do around you is going to affect the mindset.
And to add to your last point, that today is a gift. Today, we call it present. Present is a gift. So let's enjoy our gifts of being present and enjoy every second.
Yes.
I really enjoy that. Kris, let me ask you, and you touch on this a little bit, but I would love to know, what is your why? What is your purpose? What makes you excited in the morning?
You opened up a whole nother can of worms. Again, what is my why? My why is to lift up and empower people. Your health is a decision. Your lifestyle is a decision. So I'm here to empower others, lift them up so that they can have so much health and wealth about helping others, lift everybody up so that they can be truly making an informed decision about what they want to do. I mean, I go out and I talk to people and they go, you're kind of a little weird, Kris. And I'm like, okay, fine. I gave you some information. You didn't take it. That's fine. But you know what? They're not ready to hear my message yet. But you know what? Maybe 2 weeks later, 2 months later, 2 years later, they come back and they go, Kris, what I've been doing isn't working. I'm ready to listen. So that is me. That is my purpose, is to empower others, give them knowledge, give them support, that let's do this, because when their health takes off and they're like just enjoying life and we've changed their mindset, because people will come to me and they go, I just feel depressed. What do you have that will make my mind better? I'm like, we're going to go to the gut. What? Oh, I hurt so bad that I can't do anything. What do you have for pain? I go, we're going to address the gut. The gut is the core. And that's just like, what is your purpose, Kris? Okay, there was a veteran that I worked with. His name was George. George showed me this huge basket of pain medications that he took every day and had been doing this for the last 10 to 11 years. And he goes, nothing is working. And his wife says he can't even lay down in bed now to sleep. He just lives in his chair here 24 hours a day. Wow. And I said, okay, George, tell me, what would be a perfect day? And George said, Kris, if I could just walk 3-4 blocks down the gravel road to the creek and go fishing, that would be a perfect day. I said, okay, George, let's do it. 5 weeks later, George was walking down that road with his grandson fishing in the creek.
Oh my God.
Because we gave his body an opportunity to heal. We gave his body. Now, so it's all about our quality of life. So again, what is your purpose, Kris? My purpose is to just help people. Give them information to lift them up so they can be making informed decisions. Empower others. That's it.
Love it. That's a beautiful why. Speaking of that, and we talk about how transformative were your last 12 months of your life. I mean, the most recent ones were you were able to accomplish really great things, like you're an international speaker, you have a best-selling book, and many more to come. What is next for you? What are you expecting to work on in the next 12 months, Kris?
Wow. I'm getting my message out there. And I'm just not, I'm thinking bigger and I'm going to go global. I'm going global. I'm just not going to look at what can I be doing here locally in my neighborhood? What can I be doing locally here in my community? No, I am going global, and I am looking for people who want to lock arms with me and go, I want to impact and change lives like you are. I want to give them that opportunity. I want to create great health, lift others up, and create generational wealth. Because yes, if I get compensated for this, then guess what? Then that money, I can go out and help even more people and more people and more people. So that's it. The next year, I'm going global. I'm going global with my message, and I don't care who you are, where you live. Your body is the same as mine. It has the ability to heal itself. Give your body that opportunity.
I love it. Very nice. Last question for today is, if you had to sum up your approach to life and wellness in one mantra or phrase, what could that be?
Look at all your options.
Okay.
Get educated and make a decision that's best for you, not for anybody else. That might be even thinking outside of the box, thinking outside of status quo. But it's got to be right for you. Do what's right for you, not anybody else.
That's very powerful, because you say many things. One of them is right for you, but then also make an informed decision. That's key, because a lot of times we just take for granted what the doctor is saying or the advice that we get, but perhaps we need to explore all the options if the current solution is not working.
Exactly. You got it.
Yay, we got it. Very good, Kris. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was a true pleasure, Kris, and I look forward to seeing you your continued success in the next few months and going global. And I hope you accomplish all your goals.
I will
continue empowering others
through
health and informed decisions.
I will, because I'm enjoying today. I'm joining where my feet are planted today. And when I do that, I am going to accomplish my goals.
You are unstoppable. Yes, love it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much again. And I know our listeners will walk away with new ideas and a renewed sense of empowerment on their own wellness.
Yes.
Thank you again. And for our listeners, if they want to get in touch with you, we are going to put your website here on the podcast. Is there any social media link that you would like to?
I'll give you all my links to my social media. Also, perfect. Because you are such an amazing person.
Thank you.
Probably here in the next couple of days, I will have a brand new ebook out. That is the one that I'm going to be going global with on looking at your health. So I would like to give them the link to getting that ebook for free.
That sounds good. Keep an eye for that. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs a little extra inspiration on their health journey. Until next time, keep embracing your habits, keep healing, keep thriving. Thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.